Talking with the experts.
But I saw the synergies and it all came back to my values and what I've done for 16 years, which is increase the cash flow of my clients. And because that book increased my cash flow by heaps through my business, I could see a really amazing synergy for a very niche publishing company. So I focus only on collaboration books and for entrepreneurs. So I don't do other people. They're all entrepreneurs, and my books are a by application process. So I make sure that everyone that's in that book is suited to the projects and is on the same frequency. So we're going to have a successful project.
Talking with the experts.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. My name's Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com, and Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners, and you can find it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. And today it's my very great pleasure to introduce you to Leanne Clune from Clune & Co Publishing. And today we're going to be talking about how to increase your impact, income, and create a legacy by writing in a collaboration book. We were just discussing, our journeys through writing books. Welcome, Leanne, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me, Rose. I'm really excited to be on your show today.
So a little bit about you. You're the creator and founder of Radiant Books, and you have over 16 years running your own finance company and have added a highly niched publishing arm to the business in order to further help entrepreneurs increase their impact, income, and create a legacy. Well, yeah, that's writing a book is, I guess, one of the steps entrepreneurs can take to leverage their business and to place them as a known authority. So is that sort of the way you promote your books in that way?
Yeah, so Rose, as you said, with my background, I've had 16 years experience in the financial services industry, running my own financial services company. And what I focused on was increasing the cash flow of my clients. So I did a lot of restructuring of high interest rate consumer debts, for example, even ATO debts, restructured them for a better structure for the clients and increase their cash flow significantly. So I really got much joy from doing that and much satisfaction. And it was last year during COVID that I slowed down a bit because the finance industry, they were very cautious when COVID started about lending, of course, because they didn't know what was going to happen in the future. So I slowed down, which was a blessing because it enabled me to look at what else I can do. And I got the opportunity to write in a multi-author book, a collaboration book with there was 28 other women, and a lot of them were from the central New South Wales coast around the Newcastle area. I think I was the only one from the Gold Coast, but we were from all around the world. And the purpose of this book was to write strategically and intuitively and to increase our business from using this book as the vehicle for that. So I'd never done anything like that before. And, I'd done a lot of writing in my years, but not writing about myself and not writing, deeply personal stories.
Oh, that is so hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And writing from a real place of vulnerability. It's so hard, but it's also amazingly effective. And it really increases that know, like, and trust you factor from people reading the book, because they don't just see, Leanne, businesswoman Leanne. They see Leanne, the person, and the challenges and the struggles that she's overcome, that she doesn't dwell on, So that book got to #1 international bestseller. And the visibility and the increase in my business that gave me was massive. And I was absolutely sold on the whole process, particularly for those multi-author books and using that collaboration of like-minded people. So it was a few months later, I got the opportunity to actually create a publishing arm as well to my business. And my intuition said, you've got to do that. Even though my brain sort of went, are you nuts?
Absolutely, yes. It's a big leap, really, from financial work to being a publisher.
Absolutely. But I saw the synergies, and it all came back to my values and what I've done for 16 years, which is increase the cash flow of my clients. And because that book increased my cash flow by heaps through my business, I could see a really amazing synergy for a very niche publishing company. So I focus only on collaboration books and for entrepreneurs. So I don't do other people. They're all entrepreneurs, and my books are a by application process. So I make sure that, everyone that's in that book is suited to the projects and is on the same frequency, so we're going to have a successful project. And we write strategically. So we link it to our business, but we don't just write about our business. We write a personal story that's strategic, and it's like a challenging time that they've had. I asked them to look back over the last 5, 10, 20 years, depending how old they are, of course. And to look at the turning points. Those points are normally really challenging times that they've had in their life. And to look at them, and they're the points where they were at the crossroads and they had to which way to go. And those points have changed depending on which way they went, it changed the whole trajectory of their life and their business. And it's interesting, Rose, because a lot of the entrepreneurs, they have such strong and amazing and heartfelt stories and such huge challenges, and they don't talk about them.
No, as an entrepreneur, you don't normally talk about them. You keep it to yourself because you think that everyone will just think you're whining and whinging about absolutely nothing, when being an entrepreneur is so challenging.
It is. It really is. And as these stories were coming to me, so I started my first book and my author started writing these stories, and I was reading them and I was actually crying at some of the extreme challenges that these women had been through and how it had shaped how they do business. And it all makes sense, It's like I had all female authors in the last book, and they'd lost children. Some of them had lost everything, just been financially devastated from things not in their control.
Mm.
And they've totally rebuilt. It's just so inspirational. And they'd never told their stories before, or not to many people.
Mm. Yeah, but that's the same as the book that I was a co-author in. We talked about a personal journey, and how we had overcome the challenge of that particular episode in our life. And it was quite cathartic, really. I felt a sense of relief that even though I'd spoken of it before, it was more of an internal release that, oh my God, it was out there for the world to see. And, people that had been in my situation as a child could see that there was a positive outcome that could come from such a traumatic experience. So, it changed my life from this year. It changed the way I thought about myself. It changed the way I dealt with my family members. It just changed everything. By writing a very short chapter.
It's
So I can
incredible.
imagine that how these women were feeling, talking about their entrepreneurial journey and the challenges they found. It can be quite, I don't know, life-changing and yeah.
It is. It's quite healing, and it's like you say, it's cathartic and healing. As long as you have healed that chapter, then I say they can write about it. Like, if that point in time, that challenge is not fully healed and it's still pretty raw, it's probably not the right thing to write about yet.
Yes,
But
yeah.
yeah, I do feel like we go through these things, and it's our responsibility to share that with others, because that can help lift others that are starting out in business, or have only got a few years experience, and they get to see, oh, it's okay when I hit that snag in the road, because it's all right. It's sometimes it's a very divine intervention, and it puts you onto the path you're meant to be on.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you've just said. It actually put me on a different path, and I've changed focus of my business since then, and that I'm refocusing on another path, but they're aligned together. So I'm sort of branching out. But yeah, I'm thinking still of writing my own, two books. So a business book, because I've got all this knowledge that that I want to share with people.
Yeah.
And then another one about my own, personal journey through life. But the personal journey one keeps getting put on the back burner. I think I'm not quite ready yet to share the whole story. It's not fine.
For sure. And you'll know when you're ready. And it's interesting because my authors came up with quite a few different stories when they did that process of looking back. And I would suggest, to anyone to do that process of looking back, because from looking back, you see how far that you have come. And we don't do it enough. And we don't give ourselves enough credit.
And we don't, as women, we don't. I think we're taught not to do that. It makes us vain, and and it's not the truth at all.
It's not. It's mind-blowing if you look back even 12 months ago. What was I doing 12 months ago? Where was I at? It's just, it's mind-blowing. So but what I do with the books as well is we get visibility right from the start. So we start with the end in mind, just to make sure that we've got massive momentum with the book, which can be used for my clients' businesses as well. And we also have a huge collaboration and structured collaboration within the author group. So some of my authors, 2 of them actually went on to create their own publishing company as a result of being, I know. So I did it after being in the multi-author book last year. And then 2 of my authors this year went on to create their own publishing company, because, there is no competition when you're in that space. They will attract a particular type of client, and so will I. So it's totally fine, like I celebrate them for doing that. And even myself, one of my authors, Satua Benet, she said to me afterwards, we just need to collaborate. And she has come on board into this next series of book that I'm doing. And she's teaching all the structured collaboration and coaching and adding in that extra formal structured training element. So
writing a book's not like you just put pen to paper. There is a lot involved in it, and a lot of people don't realise that there are several steps that you need to go through, from putting pen to paper to the finished product. It's not just like, here's my manuscript and publish it. It's not like that at all. No, it's so different.
Yes,
because the process was a lot different than I even imagined it would be. So it's a worthwhile journey to go on to be a published author, even if it's in a collab book. Because you meet like-minded people, it broadens your network.
It does.
It broadens your world. It broadens the way you look at things, because you're talking to people that are like yourself but different, and it gives us, I think, as women, a chance to lift each other up rather than kicking each other and putting ourselves down.
Actually, that was a big thing that we all found, Rose, was that we had all this stuff going on in the world, that we can't control. And we had our little radiant bubble and we'd get on our Zooms and, it was just our own little world that we immersed ourselves in. And it was really high frequency, and it was all full of different ideas of how we could work with each other and what ifs, and, like a mastermind type environment. And it was just brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. So, and you get very connected to the other authors because you are going deep and being vulnerable yourself about your personal stories. So, the authors let their guards down and they become very connected, which is a great thing, because business can be lonely. It can be really lonely.
Yeah, I agree. If you're working for yourself, I mean, you don't have any team members, it can be quite a lonely place sometimes, because you don't have that sounding board to, if you've got, ideas or having a bad day or whatever, you rely on either your partner or your husband, wife, whatever, to, kick under the door because you're having a bad day.
Yeah, exactly. And we have similar challenges as entrepreneurs, even regardless that we're at different professions or modalities. We do all have similar challenges when you have a group that are at a similar level in business. So we understood each other, which was fantastic.
So where can they buy Radiant? Where is it available?
It's still on Amazon. So I've got Radiant Visionary Women Igniting the Light in Others is on Amazon. Can I submit some links later?
Sure you can.
Yeah, okay. So I'll do that. So that it's sitting there on Amazon. I've got the paperback. It should be coming within the next few weeks, and that will be available on Amazon as well.
Yeah, Denna's been hanging out for the paper.
Yeah, a lot of them have.
Going through Amazon, that's again in itself is a process that should never be attempted by yourself. I don't think it's quite challenging.
And that's the thing, like, we're trying to make the collab books, they're fun because you don't have so much of that stress. Things are taken care of, and all you have to do is come to the trainings, interact with the other authors, and write your chapter, obviously, but you don't have to worry about doing a book cover or uploading it on Amazon. You don't have to worry about marketing it, none of that stuff. You just come and have the fun and increase your networks, and it's just it's a great different way of really positioning yourself in your industry.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I guess Leanne, where can budding authors find you?
So the best place to find me would be my website, which is www.leanneclune.com.au. I've also got a Radiant Books one, so that's www.radiantbooks.com. So have a look and check out some of my author testimonials and the media that we received and all that sort of thing on there. And if you're interested in getting in touch about writing a chapter, I'm taking both men and women this time, because at my launch for my first book, which was all women, I had 3 men come up to me and say that they wanted to write in my next book. So the first one, I was like, oh no, it's going to be all women again. Then I had another. I was like, what's going on here? And then I had another. I thought 3, that's almost that is a sign from the universe that I need to open it up to men. So I've actually got more men already than women, which is really interesting.
The She Is Magic series that I wrote for, I think the book after mine was Open Up to Men. And I think it's called They Are Magic, or We Are Magic or something like that. So
Right.
and it was
Same sort of thing.
just
Yeah.
talking about a journey. I think the very last one's that a business journey like Radiant. So yes.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Mm.
So if you're interested in applying to be an author, is an application process. And I'm looking for, the professionals that are well established in their industry. So you've got 10 plus years experience in your industry. You're at the leading edge of business. And you're wanting to write a chapter to be able to position yourself, and get that edge over the other people from your industry without having to go to all the trouble of writing your own book. So you can go to www.leanneclune.com.au/apply, and there's a lot more information there about the book projects.
Terrific. And as I said to you before the interview, congratulations on this book. I know I've been keeping an eye on it from a distance. So it was really great to see so many people so excited about launch day. It was as the time got closer, it was quite not funny, but funny in a nice way. Just to see the change in them from the beginning to the end. It was
absolutely
quite a good journey
huge
to watch.
It really was. Thank you.
And as I said, it was lovely to finally meet you. We've been chasing each other around Facebook for years now, and so we finally get to meet today. It was lovely to catch up and find out what's happening in your world. And I just want to thank you so much for joining me today and sharing with us, the book writing journey and becoming a publisher.
Thank you so much, Rose. Thank you for the opportunity to be on your podcast today.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.
Talking with the experts.